Good morning, students. Yesterday I taught you applications of adjectives, their concept, formation, and some irregular adjectives which are formed especially. And in this case, I taught you so many things. So today I am going to teach the applications of some adjectives which are very frequent and necessary to know, whether in writing or speaking English. So read it attentively, and I hope you are going to have everything in your memory and try to find your own comfortable corner in my company. So let's begin. In this case, the first adjective is little. Little is associated with uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns in negative sense. In negative sense. Little is ever associated, you mean you have to place little before the nouns which are uncountable when you have negative sense, such as if your PC, you mean principal clause, has little, then your subordinate clause will be in negative sense. This is that you have to follow. Again I am clearing it. If you have used little in your very first sentence and you are going to say something just after this sentence, so that one sentence should be in negative sense. It can't be in positive sense because little gives negative sense and it is used for the nouns which are uncountable. For example, I am clearing here as I have little knowledge about maths or mathematics. You can say the both mathematics. So I can't answer any question. Dear, here is negative sense, can't answer. You can't say here anything in positive sense because little has negative sense. It's why I have added not with can. So I can't answer. One more example. The teacher taught little about physics. So the students were unhappy. One thing that should be known to you. Actually, negative sense doesn't mean that you have not or no in your sentence. Actually, we have to care the sense that is negative. So here teacher taught little, so the students were unhappy. Here unhappy gives negative sense. So you never think that negative is negative in case of not or no. Actually it is not so. If a word that gives negative sense, that is also negative. So don't run behind no or not. Actually the word that you use should have negative sense. So it should be clear to you. So it's EP. You will just learn how the question on little will be set for you in your examination. As I told you that if your principal clause consists little, then your subordinate clause in negative sense. So if your subordinate clause in positive sense, then there is error. So error point EP. I am writing in short EP. EP means error point. PC plus little plus SC in positive sense. This is error. For example, I tried little of my experience. I tried little of my experience, so I couldn't succeed. So here is could not. It means this sentence is correct. But if you write, so I could succeed, this is error. One more example. She knows little of him, so she can tell much about him. This one is incorrect sentence because she can tell much about him is giving here positive sense. So the correct one is she knows, so she can't tell anything about him. This one is correct one. Okay, so it should be clear. Now a little. Dear, a little is also associated with uncountable noun. In case of positive sense, uncountable noun. In positive sense, you might have heard a very popular saying, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Here the sense is positive. A little knowledge as a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. A little knowledge is a dangerous. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I have a little. I have a little money in my pocket, so I can give you only 10 rupees. Your sense is positive. So what we came to conclude that if your PC has a little, then your subordinate clause should be in positive sense, because a little gives positive sense. This one you have to learn, this one you have to remember, this one you have to put in your mind. So be cautious. So let's see the error point. EP, PC plus a little plus SC in negative sense. In this case, the sentence is incorrect. For example, my father gave me a little money, so I couldn't buy only a notebook. This one is incorrect, because a little means positive. You have money, your father gave you some money, so you could buy. So here should be, so I could buy only a notebook. So I could, here should be the correct one. My father gave a little money, so I could buy. So I, here should be I. So I could buy only a notebook. This one is correct. One more example. Let's see. The teacher taught a little about the law of motion. So the students were not able to answer any question. This one is incorrect. Dear, a little is giving the positive sense. So here should be, so the students were removed not from here, able to answer. Here should be some questions. So again listen. If you have used little in your principal clause, your subordinate clause will be in negative sense, and if you have used a little in your principal clause, your subordinate clause will be in positive sense. And so if there is, inverse, then the sentence is incorrect. Now the little. Dear, the little is also used with uncountable noun. In sense of nil, you mean nothing. So if your PC has the little, you mean PC plus the little. The subordinate clause is started with that. It should be that plus SC. SC means subordinate clause. For example, I spent the little money that I had. Here is that. Okay. Now she lost the little milk that she bought yesterday. So what the error point? In case of the little, you have to care for your subordinate clause, that is always started with that, not any other word or pronoun or anything. So if you miss that there, then there will be error. So see its error point EP. PC plus the little plus which plus subordinate clause. If which replaces that, then there is error. So here should be only that, not which. So let's see. India lost the little glory that it had before the freedom. Here this one sentence is correct because your subordinate clause has been started with that. So it is correct, but I can't recall the little happiness which I get from my students. This one is incorrect because here I have used which. So here should be that, not which. So guys, be cautious. Again I am recalling the same thing. In case of little, your subordinate clause should be negative sense, and negative means not only the application of no or not or don't or didn't. Actually there should be a word that should have negative sense. I mean, if what you write in principal clause and what you write in subordinate clause, both the sentences should be different. You mean they should not, they must not carry, the sense in their favor. If your subordinate clause is not favoring principal clause, this is called negative sense. So never run behind no or not, don't or didn't, haven't or hasn't. There should be a word that should have negative sense, not only no or not. And then come to a little. A little is also associated with uncountable noun and it has positive sense. So your subordinate clause will be in positive sense. You mean you are not entitled to add no or not or any word that gives negative sense if you have added a little, if you have used a little in your principal clause, in your first clause. And in case of the little, the same thing you have to follow. You mean your noun should be uncountable, but your subordinate clause should be started with that, not any other thing, not any other word like which, what, and so on. There should be only that. And if you find everything that goes against this concept, there is error. So next, move to other adjective. Then I am clearing few. This word is also not new to you. You might have heard this word few, and so it is associated with countable noun. Countable noun dear. Countable. Countable noun in negative sense. In negative sense. Okay, it means not any. Okay, for example, as I teach few students here, so I am waiting for some more. This is the new sentence that I have written here. I teach few students here. It means I don't teach any students here. Okay. So I am waiting for some more. So I wait for some more students to come here. So it is giving, you mean subordinate clause is giving everything negative to the principal clause. I teach few students here. Okay. Next. Yesterday I had few rupees in my pocket. So pocket. So I had to star. Had to star. This word is giving negative sense. Okay, if I write so I had to eat a lot, that is incorrect, because the star means to have your belly empty. If you keep your belly empty, if you are not taking anything, it means starve. You might have heard this word. So its error point is EP. PC plus few plus SC in positive sense. Okay, as she told few sentences on herself. So I was not happy. This one is correct. So I was not happy, because here is not and it is giving negative sense. Next, my childhood had few rural friends. So none comes to me now. My childhood had few rural friends. So none comes to me. It means I had not any friend during my childhood, so nobody comes to me now. I am totally alone. You mean I am lone. So this one is incorrect. This one is. So none comes to me. This one is correct, not incorrect. Okay, one more incorrect sentence I am writing here. Money has few to do with us. So we are always not crazy about it. So here should be, so we are always not crazy. Actually I have used not here, so it gives positive sense. Here should not be not. Money has few to do with us, so we are always crazy about it. Okay, now a few. Here this one is also associated with uncountable noun. Countable noun in positive sense. Countable noun in positive sense. Okay. For example, I have a few books on maths. So I don't need to buy any. This is positive sense. And Sheila spoke a few words before me. So it made me curious to know much about her. This one is correct. Now it's EP. PC plus a few plus AC in negative sense. If your PC is in, you mean if your PC has a few, your subordinate clause should be in positive sense, but if it is in negative sense, then there is an error. For example, the class has a few students. One thing I am changing here. Here I am writing class had. Okay, in past time. The class had a few students. Interested in English So I didn't start didn't so I didn't start teaching. This one is incorrect because here is negative sense. Here should be so I started teaching. This one is giving positive sense. So what should be correct one? The class had a few students interested in English, so I started teaching. This one is correct. So I started teaching. Now the few. It is also associated with countable noun in sense of nil. Uncountable noun. Countable noun. Countable nouns in sense of nil. Okay. And so if your PC has the few, BSC plus that clause. You mean SC will be begun with that. For example, yesterday I invited the few friends that I knew during my stay in Patna. So it should be that. So listen it. If you use which in place of that, that one is error. So as you have cared for little, a little and the little, in the same way you have to care for few, a few, the few, but the difference is that a little, little and the little are used with uncountable noun, and few, a few and the few are used with countable noun. So these are the mere difference between little and few. So that should be known to you. Dear, I am going to have the end of my session here because it is very tough to remember, to learn. You mean to have this one in your mind. I hope you will watch my video again and again, and in case of confusion, your comments are ever welcome and ever waited. So let me have the end of my session today, and again I will be with you with the rest of the adjectives. Thank you very much.